Steve is a head waiter at a famous restaurant in San Francisco. The IRS is doing an audit of his tax return this year and wants to know the average amount Steve gets for a tip. Steve sent the IRS a random sample of 8 credit card receipts, and the tips for the receipts are below. A. Find a 90% confidence interval for the population of tips received by Steve. Remember, you must check to see if the data is normally distributed, then interpret your results in the context of the problem. Step 1. State the problem and your population. We want to find the average amount Steve gets for a tip. The population is all tip Steve earns while working at a famous restaurant in San Francisco. Step 2. Check conditions. First of all, the problem states that it's a simple random sample. Second, we're going to check for independence. So 10 times 8 is 80, which is less than all the tips Steve would earn during a 40-hour work week. And lastly, the normality plot and stem plot shows no skewedness or outliers. So our check for normality is verified. Or in this case, I'm sorry, histogram. But we will proceed with caution. Since the histogram is not symmetric or bell curved. Step 3, do the math. First of all, you have to write down the formula for a t distribution. We're going to have x bar plus or minus t star times the sample standard deviation divided by the square root of n. In this particular problem, the degrees of freedom is 8 minus 1, which is 7. The mean of Steve's tips is 12.3475. The standard deviation of Steve's tips is 2.2487. And taking a look at our t-table, T star is 1.895. Therefore, 12.3475 plus or minus 1.895 times 2.2487 divided by the square root of 7. That produces, square root of 8. That produces an interval from 10.841 up to 13.854. Therefore, step 4 is your conclusion. And since we're doing a 90% confidence interval, we are 90% confident that the true mean of Steve's tips at a famous restaurant in San Francisco. Famous restaurant in San Francisco is between $10.85 and $13.85.